Personal life of Boris Shaposhnikov was born on September 20th, October 2nd, 1882 in Zlatost, a town near Chelyabinsk in Russia's Ural Mountains. He came from a family of Orenburg Cossack descent. His father, Mikhail Petrovich Shaposhnikov, was of Don Cossack origin and worked as a manager in factories and warehouses, earning a modest 100 rubles monthly to support a large family. His mother, Pelagia Kuzminichna from a count's family, was a school teacher. Mikhail Petrovich had 3 marriages, fathering 11 children, 8 of whom survived. Boris grew up in a stable household, with his father eventually purchasing a home. Initially, Boris did not aim for a military career. After completing secondary education at industrial schools in Krasnofemsk and Perm by 1899, he worked as a junior clerk in a wine warehouse in Bilibid, where his father was employed. Dissatisfied, he sought a more ambitious path, leading him to military service. Shaposhnikov's only known child was his son, Igor Shaposhnikov, 1919 to 1991, who became a lieutenant general of engineers in the Soviet Army. Details about Boris's personal relationships or family life are sparse, as historical records primarily focus on his military contributions. His health was a constant challenge, possibly including malaria from his service in Turkestan and later pulmonary tuberculosis. He died of stomach cancer on March 26, 1945. At age 62, just before World War II's end, his ashes were interred in the Kremlin Wall necropolis in Moscow. Reflecting his prominence in Soviet history, military career of Boris Mikhailovich Shaposhnikov. Boris Mikhailovich Shaposhnikov's military career spanned the Imperial Russian Army, the Russian Revolution, the Russian Civil War, and World War II, establishing him as a key figure in Soviet military strategy and theory. Early military career, 1901 to 1917. 1901 to 1903, Shaposhnikov joined the Imperial Russian Army as an officer, cadet at the Moscow Alexeyevsky Infantry School after overcoming initial health-related setbacks. He graduated in 1903 as a second lieutenant. 1907 to 1910, attended the prestigious Nicholas General Staff Academy in St. Petersburg, graduating among the top students in 1910, earning a handshake from Emperor Nicholas II. Pre-World War I, served in the Turkestan Military District, where he possibly contracted malaria, and later in the Warsaw Military District, gaining experience in diverse operational environments. World War I, 1914 to 1917, served on the southwestern, northwestern, and northern fronts. He progressed from adjutant to chief of staff of the Caucasian Grenadier Division. Suffering a head wound in 1914, by September 1917, he was promoted to colonel. His decorations included the Order of St. Anna IV, 3rd, 2nd class, Order of St. Vladimir, 4th class, and Order of St. Stanislaus, 3rd, 2nd class. Russian Revolution and Civil War, 1917 to 1921, 1917 to 1918. Unlike many Tsarist officers, Shaposhnikov supported the Russian Revolution and joined the Red Army in May 1918. His formal training made him a valuable asset. Civil War. As head of the intelligence department, he drafted directives, orders, and strategies, notably contributing to plans that defeated General Anton Denikin's forces, solidifying the Red Army's victories. Interwar period, 192-11939, 1921 to 1925, served as first Deputy Chief of Staff of the Red Army's General Staff, strengthening its organizational framework. 1925-1932, commanded the Leningrad Military District 1925-1927, Moscow Military District 1927-1928, and Volga Military District 1931-1932, after a brief demotion due to false accusations of disloyalty. From 1928 to 1931, he was Chief of Staff of the Red Army, succeeding Mikhail Tukhachevsky, with whom he had tensions. 1929, published Mozgai Army, The Brain of the Army, a foundational text on Soviet military theory and general staff organization, earning Stalin's respect and becoming required reading for officers. 1932 to 1935, appointed Commandant of the Frunze Military Academy, shaping the Red Army's officer corps. returned to command the Leningrad Military District in 1935.1937, became Chief of the General Staff. Succeeding Alexander Yegorov during Stalin's Great Purge, despite his Tsarist background, his professionalism and late entry into the Communist Party in 1939 spared him from suspicion. He helped rebuild the Red Army, securing the release of 4,000 purged officers. World War II, and later career 1939-1945, 1939-1940, planned the Soviet invasion of Finland Winter War. His cautious outlook clashed with Stalin and Clement Voroshilov. Optimism and the campaign's difficulties led to his resignation as Chief of the General Staff in August 1940, officially for health reasons. 1940, promoted to Marshal of the Soviet Union, recognizing his contributions despite the Winter Wars. Challengers, * 1941-1942, reinstated as Chief of the General Staff on July 29, 1941, after the Axis invasion, replacing Georgy Zhukov, also served as Deputy People's Commissar for Defense. He was instrumental in planning the defense of Moscow and the 1941-1942 counteroffensive. He opposed a premature attack on Kharkov in 1942, and his deteriorating health led to his resignation in May or June 1942. Succeeded by Alexander Vasilevsky, 1942-1943, served on the Evacuation Council and Defense Committee, advising Stalin despite his declining health. * 1943-1945, appointed Commandant of the Voroshilov Military Academy, continuing to influence Soviet strategy until his death. * Pre-World War I military career of Boris Mikhailovich Shaposhnikov. 1901-1914, Boris Mikhailovich Shaposhnikov's military career before World War I laid the foundation for his later prominence as a strategist and Soviet marshal. This period spans his entry into the Imperial Russian Army, education, and early service assignments. 1901-1903, Shaposhnikov joined the Imperial Russian Army as an officer cadet at the Moscow Alexeyevsky Infantry School after an initial rejection due to health issues, possibly malaria. He graduated in 1903 with the rank of second lieutenant, marking his formal entry into military service. * 1907-1910, he attended the Nicholas General Staff Academy in St. Petersburg, a highly competitive institution where over half the students typically failed to graduate. Shaposhnikov excelled, completing the program in 1910 among the top students, earning a personal handshake from Emperor Nicholas II. This education equipped him with advanced strategic and operational knowledge, setting him apart from many contemporaries. Service in Turkestan Military District 1910. Circa 1912, after graduating, Shaposhnikov was assigned to the Turkestan Military District, a remote and challenging region in Central Asia. During this time, he may have contracted malaria, which affected his health long-term. His service here involved administrative and operational duties, giving him early exposure to managing troops in diverse conditions. * Service in Warsaw Military District, circa 1912-1914, Shaposhnikov was later transferred to the Warsaw Military District, a strategically important area in the western part of the Russian Empire, modern-day Poland. This posting placed him in a critical region near potential European conflict zones, enhancing his experience in military planning and logistics as tensions rose in Europe. During this pre-war period, Shaposhnikov served as a staff officer, leveraging his General Staff Academy training to develop skills in military organization and strategy. His assignments in Turkestan and Warsaw exposed him to varied operational environments, preparing him for the challenges of World War I. His health struggles and rigorous education shaped his disciplined approach, which later defined his career. * Boris Mikhailovich Shaposhnikov, Russian Revolution and Civil War. 1917-1921, Boris Shaposhnikov's role during the Russian Revolution and Civil War marked a pivotal transition in his career, as he shifted allegiance from the Imperial Russian Army to the Red Army, leveraging his expertise to become a key figure in the Bolshevik military effort. 1917, Russian Revolution. By 1917, Shaposhnikov was a colonel in the Imperial Russian Army, serving as Chief of Staff of the Caucasian Grenadier Division during World War I, unlike many Tsarist officers who opposed the Bolsheviks. He supported the Russian Revolution of 1917, aligning with the Bolshevik cause. This decision was unusual for an officer of his rank and background, reflecting his pragmatic adaptation to the changing political landscape. His formal military education from the Nicholas General Staff Academy and combat experience made him a rare asset among the often poorly trained Red Army leadership. 1918, joining the Red Army in May 1918. Shaposhnikov formally joined the Red Army, a critical move that ensured his survival and influence during the turbulent revolutionary period. His professional skills and lack of overt political affiliations helped him gain trust among Bolshevik leaders. Despite his Tsarist past-Russian Civil War 1918-1921 role in intelligence and strategy, Shaposhnikov served as head of the intelligence department within the Red Army's operational staff. His responsibilities included drafting directives, orders, and strategic plans. Leveraging his general staff training to bring structure to the fledgling Red Army, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more military and geopolitical updates.